Hi, I'm Ina, and I do art stuff and things, and this thing is my latest art stuff. I saw another artist do this technique with taping and doing background first, and I love it. So I did it a couple of times now, but did I film it? No, because I got a new tripod. Yay, you'll notice things are shaking less, and when they do, it's just because I'm walking into the tripod. But also I tried to use my DSLR with the new tripod. Tripod worked great, DSLR not so much. Who knew it's sensitive to LEDs? I didn't, and I'm not going to put that up because that stuff will cause seizures. Now, who is this? This is a random of the Sktchy app, now called the Museum, because I forgot that I was doing the YouTubers. Because, sometimes I just get caught up on things and forget what I was doing before that. That's my problem. But also, I quite liked the face, and I did the face. And I thought it would be easy to do this face because the reference photo had very, very strong shadows. Problem is, because the hair is curly, there's a lot of very complex shadows, especially around the eye area. I think I lost my will to live a few times whilst I was doing this, and I got through it, so that's good, but the process was not a smooth sailing. To be fair, none of my processes are ever smooth sailing, so I don't know why I'm ever surprised. And yet, I am. Every single time. I do love to surprise myself, I guess. Okay, enough of the ramble. Let me tell you what I'm actually doing here. And you would have seen I've laid down the base colour. I've added some warmth to the cheeks and the tip of the nose. I also laid down some shadows, and I'm adding some yellow to indicate light. There's quite a lot of light in the reference photo. I'm now deepening some of the shadows. If you ever worked with watercolour, you know that it dries much, much lighter than when you originally put it down. So I think that's kind of the main reason why I overwork my portraits so much, or any work for that matter, because I want vibrancy and I just can't seem to be concentrating my colours well enough. So I just have to go in with layers and layers and layers upon layers, and it's not ideal. But I am still a beginner because I've been doing this for just over a year. So what I'm doing here is adding blue to some of the areas of the face to balance out all the warmth. And I've noticed whilst watching this that I've made a big old mistake, and I did not add any blue to the cheek, and I should have, because the rule is you need to be consistent with your sort of warm and cool tones, and you have to add them to all the areas that face the same direction, because as we all know, the face is three-dimensional and not 2D. But I failed here. It's okay, only I noticed, and now you. I have a checklist of things in my head that I go through when I paint each portrait. And in that respect, I find portraits quite easy. A lot of people say the portraits are hard, but I think things like florals or landscapes, they are hard because they provide sort of unlimited variety of elements and, light colours. It's disorganized chaos, it's organized chaos, whatever it is. But portraits always follow the same formula, and I find that very comforting.
A few moments later.
And by moments, I mean days. It's been a few days, and you can see the light has changed because I've sorted out my lighting. I think it's better. What do you think? Let me know. That would be helpful. I have not sorted out the reflection at that point. You'll see when I'm painting, the light reflects quite strongly, and there's me trying to cover the light and see what I need to do, and then using a rag to cover it up because I'm very high techie. The eyes were interesting because the reference didn't have a lot of detail, and I think we already established I cannot paint something that doesn't have detail. I cannot make it up, and I kind of had to. So I was pretty happy with the first eye. The second eye I had to redo a few times, but I got there. I did. So lips were slightly complex because, well, they were, I want to say juicy, but I'm not going to. I mean, I just did, but I shouldn't because it just feels so wrong. But who remembers juicy tubes? Me? Just me. Never mind. Glossy. That's what I meant. They were very glossy, so a lot of reflections. You know what? Just have a look at this reference. It's, yeah, you see what I mean? It's pretty complex, unless you squint at it from far away, which is probably how I've chosen it. So when it comes to lashes, normally I just go in with a fine liner. But this time I've decided to do a bit of a blockier approach with watercolor straight in, and regretted it instantly, and then spent the next maybe hour trying to fix it. But at least I tried something different, and it didn't, turn out a complete disaster. Although for some period of time I thought this might be it. This might be the time when it is a disaster. Thing is, none of the portraits that I set out to do in the last year and a bit have ended up being a disaster, so maybe this imposter syndrome needs to, shut the fuck up, get out of my face, just disappear. What do you think? Now, personally, I think it's a great plan, but I also know that next time I'm painting, I will doubt every single move that I'm making, and I will think for sure this time we'll find out that I am a great imposter. All of this was a fluke. I cannot possibly paint. What am I even doing here? And then I'll get to the end of the painting and I'm sure it'll be fine, but god damn my brain. If anyone has any ideas or advice on how to deal with that and how to overcome it, I would love to hear it, because, well, it can't continue like that forever, right? I have to start believing in my own ability. And I do when I look at my finished works, and then I sit down to paint, and here we go again. It's like a freaking roller coaster that never ends. And just like that, we're painting the hair. And by we, I mean me and my imposter syndrome. And the hair is curly. And curly hair is a blessing and a curse to paint and also to have. I am somewhat Jewish in that my father's Jewish, which doesn't count, so I'm not really Jewish, but also of the, origin. Therefore, I have very curly hair, but it is less a Jewish princess and more Seth Rogen. This girl, she's got beautiful curls. They're very, large and golden brown, and, well, messy without being messy, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So, although I used a lot of layers and felt like I was, losing a battle, it wasn't that difficult because you don't have to be precise. You can just go in, mess around, and it comes out fine. It came out fine. Everything's fine. You're fine. I'm fine. We're all fine. Stop saying fine. Shh. Now we're getting to the part of the video where I get sick of my own voice, so I start getting silly and then just keep on recording without re-recording 3 million times, because I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and let's face it, if you got this far through the video, you'll put up with a bit of weird, won't you? That one friend. Hi, that one friend. You know who you are. Okay, so I've added some yellow into the hair because, as I mentioned before, it's kind of golden brown, and I was just going in with black and brown before. And I'm adding highlights of the curls with the white ink. It's white deleted ink that I've had for maybe about 10 years. It's at this point over everything I own. It's very sticky. One day I'll buy some proper white ink, but in the meantime this works. So, don't fix something that's not broke. And yeah, I think I've gone slightly to town with the whole highlighting of the white, but it was a lot of fun. Now we are coming to the grave mistake that I made here. So what I wanted to do is put like a golden wash, and well, you're seeing what's happening, right? I think it worked pretty well for the face, but the hair, the white ink just did not dry, did not set, so it all smudged, and yeah, I had to dab it all and redo it. Well, not completely redo it, but yeah, this is probably layer 57. By that point, the paper really buckled and started gathering water everywhere. I had to walk away. I had to walk away for a period of time and let it all dry, because patience is not my virtue. It's just not a thing I have. So, as I mentioned in my previous videos, I have to sometimes physically just leave the area so that I don't come and, you know, touch things up and mess them up. At this point, I'm actually just adding some gold. It's not showing up particularly well on the video, but it's there. It's gold. It looks quite cool, I think, especially at certain angles where it catches the light. It's a gold watercolor, Sktchy, yeah, and I quite like it. My goal, well, not goal, but sort of one of the things I really want to do is work with actual gold leaf, but I think I'm a period of time away from that because, well, it's so expensive and I don't want to mess it up. So yeah, I think I would probably do it for a commission or something that I'm going to either exhibit or sell, for obvious reasons. So I'm adding a bit of gold to the glasses frame as well, and then I did outline the frame a bit more with a micron off the camera because I just couldn't get close enough. I couldn't see. I think my eyesight kind of went by that point, so I had to get in pretty close. And this is the only reason I do these paintings, really, is just to remove the masking tape because, well, isn't that the most satisfying thing ever? I love it. What do you think? There's me messing with stuff again. Just put the brush down, woman. Put it down. Well, I guess this is it. That's done. This is the finished painting. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time, I hope.